Hello, everyone. Welcome to Make Sense with Your Money with me, your host, Cynthia Hurley. Thank you for joining me for this great series, the Bankruptcy series, the Debt series. We're going to dive in and peel this onion, listen, piece by piece, so that you'll be able to make informed decisions about your debt, what you should do, what you should not do. Should you file bankruptcy? Should you not file bankruptcy? We're going to get into it. Oh my goodness. Happy holidays to everyone. As you can see, I have a real lively personality. I love to have fun. I love to laugh, It's good for the soul, you know. And being that there's so much going on in this climate today, people are stressed about finances. People are stressed about a whole lot of things. It is good to laugh. We're in the holiday season. Happy holidays. A lot of you are out shopping right now, buying gifts, for your children, for your loved ones. A lot of people are, getting ready to travel so they can spend the holidays with their loved ones. Good for you. Good for you. I think it's good to spend time with your family. Tell people you love them now, because tomorrow, not even the next hour, is promised. Okay? But enough of that. We're going to get into the show. The series that I'm going to be discussing tonight and moving forward for the next couple of weeks is the bankruptcy slash debt, or debt slash bankruptcy series, however you want to title it. But I'm going to be peeling the onion on debt, options, and also on bankruptcy. Okay? One of the most prevalent and enduring types of stress is financial stress. I tell you, financial stress can put you in a pickle. What I meant to say, not a pickle. What's those things? A pretzel. It'll have you turn all kind of ways because it weighs heavy. Because it's tied to so many obligations. We use our money to live a certain type of lifestyle. And even if you live in the bare minimum, if you don't have enough money to maintain that lifestyle, it'll mess you up. So over the last few years, money has been difficult, I would say. Difficult with financial constraints, okay, because of COVID, all right? The global pandemic, people losing jobs, people not being able to find work, people at home stressed out, can't get along with their spouses, family members, kids, all kind of stuff. Financial stressors. Because all of that has an impact on your finances. And what happens? You take it out on everybody. Whoever's around you, they going to get and feel the wrath. We're looking at a potential recession. It is going to be a recession, y'all. Although I'm not going to be included in it because I ain't putting myself in that economy. Hello, somebody. But anyway, there is a recession. They talking about potential. There will be a recession. The inflation is at its highest rate in 40 years. 40 years. Okay? So there's a lot of financial pressure on everybody. So what is financial stress? What does it refer to? Well, it basically boils down to feeling worried or having anxiety about money and expenses. Okay? There was a study done this year, matter of fact, in February of this year, okay, and it talked about the variables of what may be blamed for financial stresses, if you will. And I want to talk about, I just want to mention some of it before I really dive into what we're going to be the topics of the show. But basically, this breakdown of what some of the statistics, the key statistics of what people are dealing with in their financial stresses are, and I might add, I just want to add this, that these are the issues that significantly impacted the mental health of consumers. The number one financial stress that the majority of people are dealing with is that they don't have enough savings. They feel that, matter of fact, over 57% feel that they don't have sufficient savings in their emergency accounts. So that is having a major impact on their mental health. That's financial stress, number one. Number two is that they don't even like looking at their bank account because they can't pay their bills. So paying bills was another problem. They were having a challenge paying their bills. Okay, that's 41%. Over 32%, right, don't even like to talk about money because it is an issue for them. Number three, the rising cost of consumer goods, right? That has a widespread impact on people's mental. They can't afford these high inflation prices. 80% is saying that it's a significant source of stress for them. 87%. Okay? Listen to me. I walked into the supermarket. This was about 2 weeks ago. And I went to buy a head of lettuce. The head of lettuce was $7.99. I walked out. I did an about face. And I walked out the store. $7.99 for a head of lettuce? You have got to be kidding me. I was like, whoa, really? I went into the store yesterday and I wasn't even looking for this item, but I happened to be walking past and I saw that Hellman's mayonnaise, and I'm talking about the jar that's like this. It wasn't a big jar. The jar that's like this. $8.99. You know, it just kind of stuck me. It just kind of stung me. It did sting me. I had to take a picture of it. I took a picture of it. I said, you have got to be kidding me. $8.99 for a jar of Hellman's mayonnaise? So this is what is impacting people's mental health. The survey also say that women tend to more likely experience financial stress than men. Well, that's because there are more women that are head of their households than men. So the financial, and I might add, a lot of the head of households are single women. So it's not like they have help, if you understand what I'm saying. Single women households. All right. Number 4. Okay. The number one stress was that not women, but men and women, they think about it daily. Over 28% think about it daily. Listen, if the number may sound, that's not a small number because considering all of the people that's in the world. 28% thinking about, they worry about money daily. Okay? The survey also said that 48% of those whose income is less than $50,000 also worry about money. They worry. All right. So, excuse me. And I want to mention number 5 because I think number 5 is not important. No, it is important for me to mention, but it's sad because it is a reality. Social media has made many people worry about their finances. This bank rate study showed that over 34% of adults, I didn't say youth, over adults said that seeing others on social media made them feel negative about their financial situation. Excuse me. seeing others on social media, right, made them be depressed about their money. Why? Don't you know that more than 80% of social media, those that post on social media, the stuff that they post is false. It's not even true. So for those of you who are stressed out because you are looking at what you think other people may have, don't get caught up in that, because most of it is not truth. It's not truth. Now, moving right along to financial stresses and inflation, okay, we all know that inflation rose to 9.1% in June. And we know, listen, the government is the government. They gonna always be the government. We already know how the government is. I don't need to tell you. But they don't never just throw you in the fire. They it's like, I used to hear, they say you put frog in water, but you don't put it in hot water. You put it in the water that's, regular temperature, and you turn that fire up slowly so that the frog won't know that he's getting cooked. That's what the government does. So they didn't increase that inflation all at one time, but they did it a little bit over time. Now it's at 9.1%. Okay, but anyway, that is the highest rate that has been in 40 years. 40 years. You got to be kidding me. So that has a major impact on the way the economy is, the way people finances are, the way these prices are. So I want to, before I get into talking about one of the options that you have if you're suffering from debt. I don't want to say suffering. If you're being dealing with debt. It's careful how we use our words, okay? But there are 5 ways that you can do to kind of like to manage your financial stress, if you will, and then I'm going to move into some of the options that you have if you're one of those who need to have a way out of your financial situation. Okay, even though external factors also can contribute and have a significant impact on your financial stress, it is important to focus on what is in your control, right? And establishing healthy financial habits. So I'm going to give you 5 ways to do that, right? 5 ways to do that. If this don't work for you, we still have some other options, but we're going to start with this. Listen, don't look at your entire financial situation, because when you look at it as an elephant, it becomes an elephant, and that's why you become so stressed. Okay. You like, oh my God, this is too much. I can't deal with this. Oh, it's $50,000 of debt. Oh, I'll never get out of that. And when you look at your situation like that, it becomes overwhelming. And that's what people tend to do. And that's why they don't know how to handle it. And that's why it affects them the way that it does, because they're looking at it as an elephant. But I invite you, right, to not... I invite you to try to space out some decisions. You got to space these decisions out, right, that you need to make, whether they may be looking at, if you own a home, maybe you can refinance, right? Or, you're looking at the whole elephant. Well, you want to cut the head off. Okay, say this is the head. You cut them legs off, put the legs over here. You put the body over here, cut that body in half. So you're looking at pieces. Say, okay, I deal with this piece. Okay, this is the biggest piece. That's the head. Let me deal with that head first. You have to deal with the elephant, but cut it up, right? So that you can now look at the pieces and it looks more manageable. Say, okay, it ain't so big at all, because you chop that, you chop it up. So now it's more manageable. Now you can determine where you need to start first, because number 2, you want to prioritize the essential bills, deciding what you have to pay first. Okay, we already know that your regular bills, your home bills, those are Those are every day. That's a given. That's every month. You can't get rid of them. Light, gas. Those are utilities. I wouldn't even include that. We talking about these debts that you have accumulated. Them credit card bills. Okay, these loans and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, you want to prioritize them, um, and evaluate. Okay, what can be reduced, what can be eliminated. Because when you're dealing with debt, you got your big ones, you got your small ones. You want to know which ones you need to include. You want to prioritize your bills and deciding which ones can be reduced, which ones can be eliminated. Right? All right. That's number 2. Number 3, you really want to take you want to track your spending, and I'm gonna use the word budget. Because budget gives you instructions on how to handle your money. People don't like a budget. But even the government got a budget. Even big corporations got a budget. Even Facebook got a budget. Even Amazon got a budget. These are billion-dollar companies. So if you don't like a budget, then guess what? That's why you out of order with your finances. That's why you can't make sense with your money. That's why you can't, you ain't got no direction in your finances because you ain't giving it no instructions. Okay? Track your spending. You need to know what comes in. You need to know what comes out. You got to know these things. It can give you a concrete idea of what you're spending and what you need to pay for. Because sometimes people just be spending. You buy stuff that you don't need. Sometimes you got to tighten it up. Right? I have this budgeting, and it's really good. It's for everyday expenses. If you email me, right? I'm giving you my email address, info, N as in Nancy, F as in Frank, O, at CynthiaHurley.net. Email me, put in the subject line of the email, just put debt strategy, and I'll send you the I have a template. It's not even template, but it helps you to calculate everything. It calculates everything for you. It's a Excel spreadsheet. I'll send it to you. Okay. Number 4. Now, I know it's hard for people to save. I'm not even going to talk about no savings because people are like this. You ain't trying to save no money. I already know. I was in this situation before. You're not able to save. And if you do, God bless you, but you're not able to save. Okay? But number 5, and this is where I want to really park. If you feel that you need some help, then you need to, first of all, begin to reach out. But you don't see a lot of some of you, and I know sometimes people don't like to talk to people about their finances, but you spend time talking to the wrong people. Your neighbor can't help you. Your neighbor can't help you unless you borrowing money from them. Your family can't help you unless you borrowing money from them. So whoever can't help you, you don't need to be discussing your financial problems with. Hello, somebody. You don't need to be discussing your financial situation to anybody that cannot help you. You just wasting your breath. That's what you're doing. You are wasting your breath. Okay? You want to be able to talk to somebody that can help you. So, this is why I'm giving you options. I'm telling you about options where you can reach out for financial support to somebody that's going to be able to give you bona fide strategies that work. Okay? Give you options that you can consider. That way you can make a wise decision so that you'll be able to make sense with your money. All right? So now we're going to move on into the training. Not the training. We're going to move into the debt settlement. But before we do, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. And right after this commercial break, I am going to come back and we'll get into the debt settlement. Hello. Hi, I'm Cynthia from the Make Sense with Your Money radio show. And I want to talk to you just a minute about protecting your assets. We protect those things that we believe are important to us, such as our homes. Well, the mortgage company will not let you leave the closing table without making sure that the asset that they're about to put into your hands, they won't let you leave that table unless they know that the asset is covered, right? Cars, vehicles. When we purchase a vehicle, we are not allowed to drive that vehicle off the lot unless that vehicle is protected, right? So we have to have insurance for both of those things. These are things that we believe are important to us. Most of us have insurance on our cell phones because we believe our cell phones are important to us. But I have a question for you. Do you have insurance on the most number one asset? And that is, of course, you. Are you covered in case of unexpected death? Are you covering the most important asset, and that is yourself? Most people are not covered for three reasons. Either they don't understand the insurance, they believe that they can't afford it, or they just flat out believe that they don't need it. Well, I'm inviting you to have a free consultation with me so we can dispel all three of those myths. Okay? We can sit down and discuss, number one, why protecting you is very important. If you have anybody that depends on you, then you need life insurance. And you can get life insurance for about $1 a day. Right? If you buy coffee every day, Starbucks coffee is like what, $3 and change? You can afford life insurance. So don't believe the hype. Don't believe anything about insurance unless you sit down with someone and you hear it from the master's mouth. What I mean by master, someone who actually works in the industry and know what the rates and terms are and can give you the facts, such as myself. I'll be able to sit down with you, explain to you what different insurances are in the marketplace, which one would be better for you, and also customize it so that it won't be a burdensome to you. You ought to get something that you can afford. Myth number 2, let's expel that. Most people feel like they are uninsurable. But that's not true, because there are insurance policies designed that do not ask you anything about health questions because they know that some people have health challenges. And there's always a way around that. There's always a policy that can fit your needs. So no matter what your situation is, you are insurable. So let's sit down and have a free consultation and let me go over those things with you so I can help you to better understand what insurance is and how it can benefit you. This is a way that we transfer generational wealth. And we can talk about all that when we sit down together. So my office is waiting, is standing by, waiting to get your call at 1-800-818-1029. Don't let ignorance stop you from protecting the most number one asset, and that is yourself. Again, the telephone number is 800-818-1029. Look forward to speaking with you. Okay, so I'm going to correct that telephone number. Our new number is 212-220-6550. That is the number to my office, and we'll be glad to talk to you about insurance and all of the other services that we offer. So now let's move right along into what some of the options that are available to you if you are dealing with student loans, credit cards, you're paying off your debt. We know these things. This is an enormous thing for many people. And as debt begins to pile up, it becomes overwhelming, right? And people are seeking outside help. When I say that, they're seeking of ways on how they can get out of this debt. But when they're searching for solutions, you bombarded with so many choices. You got debt management, you got debt consolidation, you got debt settlement. What is all of these things? All right, what is the terms? All of these things that are being bombarded, you're being bombarded with, they can be confusion if you don't understand what's going on. So we're about to get into the nuts and bolts of it. All right. So my goal in this series, starting with tonight, is to peel the onion behind bankruptcy, behind debt management, behind debt settlement, behind debt counseling, and break it down so you can understand it easily, right? So that you can have a better understanding of the process, how it works, and how it can benefit you. All right. Now, a lot of people are always told, don't you file bankruptcy, don't you file bankruptcy, because of the negative connotations that is attached to it. But when you get all of the facts, bankruptcy is not so bad. Okay. But I tell you what, over the next few weeks, you'll be able to make a better informed decision. Bankruptcy does not have to be your first option, and that's why I'm starting with the alternatives to bankruptcy so that you'll know what it is that you want to do. So let's look at debt settlement. All right. This is one of the first things that people look at, but let's understand what debt settlement is. Okay. It is the process of negotiating with your creditors, right, to reduce the amount that you owe on unsecured debt. What is unsecured debt? Debt that is not attached to an asset. That means your car, your house, that cannot be included in this, right? So here's how it works. You call ABC Debt Settlement Company, right? What they do is they negotiate with your creditors for you to lower the debt amounts on your cards, right? When you do that, right, you must stop making payments on all of your debts. So when you call them, I don't know what type of status you would be in, whether you're paying your debts or whether your debts are in collections. But in order to work with a debt settlement company, you have to be in a collection negative status with all of your accounts. The debt settlement company then will create an escrow account for you. That's an escrow account where you will begin. They'll say, listen, you have to start after they analyze your situation. They're going to say you're going to have to start making, I don't know, however month the monthly payment is going to be after they analyze your situation. It could be $600 a month. It could be $700 a month. It could be $500 a month into this account. Once the debt settlement company believes that the account has enough money to make a lump sum offer on one of your debts, they will then begin the negotiation process with one of your debts, one of your creditors, right? And when they get an offer, when they get a settlement, they then make the payment. And then what they do is wash and repeat. That means they repeat it again with the next creditor. Okay? Now, here is the thing that I just want to make known is that the debt settlement process can take a long time. Okay? It's not as simple as they may make you to believe. Okay? It's not that simple. And that's why I want to make sure that I break this down so you get the full picture. It actually can take anywhere from 3 to 5 years to settle all of this debt. So basically, let's just say you have debts of $50,000. They negotiate your debts down to $25,000. That's what it is. But they deal with one debt at a time because when you come to them, you do not have all of the money to settle the debt. So you have to build up that escrow account to start with the first account. All right? But I repeat, all your accounts must be in a collection status because if they're not, then you won't be qualified for the program. And this is something that these creditors these collect debt settlement agencies don't tell you. They don't tell you that. But I'm telling you. Okay? Now, student loans are not included. They don't work on student loans. All right? So you just need to know that. Okay? Now, I want you to also know that this is a long-term process. Now, let's look at what not the pros are, but what the cons are, right? Debt settlement, number one, is a long process, expected to last up to 5 years, okay? And number two, the debt, of course, may be taxable, all right? So you may, I don't know, they may send you one of those 1099s that you have to pay on the debt settlement. Now, here's another thing that I want, which is very, very important to really get it in your, I want to get it in here, is that if you decide to work with one of these companies, you may end up owing more than what you started with. Here's the reason why. Because as the debt settlement company is negotiating with your creditors, guess what? Those fees don't stop accruing. That interest rate don't stop revolving and accruing. It continues to evolve. So you may be in debt longer than 5 to 6 years. This is something that they don't tell you. Okay? They don't tell you that. But the interest rates continue to accrue. The late fees continue to accrue. So this increases the amount of time that you're in debt, increasing the fees, right? Making it longer. So now, what does it make any sense? Does it make any sense? Now, debt settlement is also likened to bankruptcy because it's almost the same process. One form of bankruptcy, one type of bankruptcy, which is Chapter 13. Chapter 13 is a 3 to 5 year process. You are paying your money. The trustee, the bankruptcy trustee, determines how much you can afford to pay. They work out an affordable amount for you to pay. You then pay the trustee. The trustee pay your creditors. This is over a 3 to 5 year period. So if you're going to deal with a debt settlement company, you might as well file Chapter 7, not a Chapter 13. But I'm going to get into the chapters of the bankruptcy so you'll understand which ones that you're eligible for. We're talking about that settlement now. Now, here's another problem with these debt settlement companies. They're not always able to settle all of your debts. It's been proved. Well, there are studies to show that not all of the creditors are willing to settle with them. They don't tell you that. Okay? They don't tell you that. And the final, I think this is number 6. The final one is that, of course, you have to pay them a fee. But, they don't, like I told you, they stick you in the water. they don't tell you the fee. They tell you, oh, it's a percentage of, but they incorporate that either into the monthly, most of the time they do it into the monthly payment. So as you are making that monthly payment, that fee is coming out of there. But what happens is if your debt is, let's say, $10,000 and they settle it for $6,000, then they charge 25% of that $6,000. So you're paying them $2,500. But that all depends. How long, how much the debt is. All of these factors, they have to be considered. And this is why it is important that you know these facts so you can decide which option you want to take, which road you want to take, that's going to make sense for you and your finances. Okay? This is only I'm only speaking about the debt settlement. Next week I'm going to be talking about the debt management and what is the difference between the debt management and the debt settlement. There is a difference, and you need to know, because every time you turn on the TV, you click on your social media or you turn on your computer, you being bombarded with these mini commercials. That's what I like to call them. Advertisements is what I like to call them, because they know the state that people are in. People are suffering, and guess what? The rates are up. When I say the rates are up, it's not. This is a fact that most people are living off of their credit cards now, okay, because of this inflation situation, and most people are they're not wiping them out. They're withdrawing lots of money out of their 401ks because they need it. So these debt settlement companies, debt consolidation, debt management, they have upped the ante and trying to get your business. But the unfortunate fact is that the stories are not so happily ever after of those who have dealt with them. And this is why I am doing this series. Hopefully, I will be able to help you. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're in, what part of the country you're in, I can help you. Okay? I work with people all over the 52 states, Puerto Rico, the Caribbean. I can still work with you. I have clients in all of these different places. All right? I'm not advocating bankruptcy, but if it makes sense, then it makes sense. Okay? I want to share with you my contact information. Okay? In case you have any questions, my website address is www.zero, the number 2, superhero.com. That is my office address. These are my office numbers, 212-220-6550 and 646-945-4998. I would encourage you to follow me on social media. I offer training. And also, I go live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. But my social media handle for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn is at Make Sense with Money. Okay? At Make Sense with Money. So you call my office. There's a free consultation available. It's not an hour free consultation, y'all. It's a free consultation available. Okay? To have some of your questions answered. And should you decide that, you want more help, then we can discuss that. Okay? So, I want to say good night. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Come back and join me next week. We'll continue this series, the debt / bankruptcy series, so that you can learn how to have options. And maybe it may not be for you, but you know somebody that's being affected right now. You know somebody who's under financial stress right now. You know somebody who is crying out for help. You know somebody that may be able to tune into this channel, this series, so that they can get the help that they need, so that they can know that there are options. Okay? God bless you. Happy holidays. And I'll see you next week.